Reforming local criminal justice systems with the goal of reducing jail populations. Well, it seems like it could be a hard task, but city leaders say they are taking steps in the right direction. County Commissioner Lisa Sobecki and Holly Matthews from the Lucas County's Criminal Justice Coordinating Council join us this afternoon. Thanks for being here, ladies.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So you're fresh off a trip to Houston, huh?
Yes.
Why were you down in Houston?
We were in Houston for the Safety and Justice Challenge all-site meeting convened by the MacArthur Foundation.
Okay, that's a mouthful. But you're learning how to, keep the prison populations, at a more manageable size, yeah?
It'd be our jail population is what we're looking at, and the prisons, and but not only that, but also looking at reentry too, because once you have completed your time, then you're coming back into civilian life, and how you are able to go from being incarcerated, from people that we heard down there from say 13 years to coming out, and think about if you were incarcerated for 13 years, a lot has changed in your life.
Absolutely, sure.
So just really understanding that the reentry, but excuse me, but also housing was a big conversation too, which is really, we talk about housing a lot here, but housing across the country is a barrier as well.
And so sometimes we see that recidivism, they may find themselves back in jail, because that reentry may have been challenging. So you have been working with the county for almost a decade now.
Correct.
On this. So where do we start? Where are we now?
We have actually reduced our local jail population, so we're talking pretrial and sentence population by 41.2% since the establishment of our baseline. And we really did that through the implementation of our 6 core strategies. And kind of the key for us was the implementation of the public safety assessment tool, which really transformed our criminal justice system from a charge-based system to a risk-based system. And that has been a foundational shift that, one, lets us reduce our jail population while still ensuring public safety for the community, which is at the heart of what we do and definitely at the heart of the Safety and Justice Challenge.
41%, that's significant,
It is.
And but I do think, as you said, managing the risk too, because obviously, people in the community are going, well, I want to feel safe, I don't, we want to make sure that we're not going too far, I suppose. So you mentioned reentry. Is mental health or, behavioral health a part of this solution potentially?
Absolutely, and as we are building our new jail for the county, a piece of that in the new jail is going to be a behavioral health wing in there. Because when you look at mental health wing, but when you look at who's coming in, who's going out, and who is coming back in and going out, a lot of it's mental health challenges. And that could be mental health challenges, say, with homelessness as well. So really taking a look at that and really being able to focus on that and be able to meet the needs so that when people are incarcerated, they don't continue to decline in their mental health. It's really being able to get the resources to them, but also when they're leaving the jail, also be able to connect them to those resources so they can, continue to grow instead of destabilize.
Or decompensate.
That too. So that'll all be together then as part of this new jail when that opens, and so that'll be right there for people to get connected with those resources. So do we have goals then, for the future?
I think our goal for the future is really to sustain everything that we have done. Through our participation in the Safety and Justice Challenge, we've been able to leverage several significant federal funds. We started the Brief Jail Mental Health Screening Initiative at the current jail. So we are identifying individuals who may have severe and persistent mental illness and help direct those individuals to adequate and appropriate services. And we also provided seed funding through a Justice Mental Health Collaboration Program through the Mental Health and Recovery Services Board to the Care Center, which is our law enforcement drop-off center. And that work has continued through board support.
Wow. So a lot of work has been done here, and as we look toward building this new jail, what do you see, for the future? Do you see we'll have some good progress here on these goals?
Well, I think we've already seen good progress, but I think we're going to see even better progress. And really looking at and having the opportunity to go to the conference and be able to look and see what what is the standard others are doing, what is working well, what is not working well, and not being afraid to have those tough conversations. And I look around our team, our board that's all together though, is everyone's at that table that needs to be at that table. And so really having a candid conversation about going forward. But some of the things that we also learned down there in Houston was that we have people who are having mental health boards, so or a mental health court, should we say. So before you even get into jail, maybe you could be diverted, kind of like we have our drug and alcohol diversion court, is having maybe a mental health diversion court. And not everyone's going to qualify for that, but those that would maybe be able to look at that and maybe look at, you know, a balance between our juveniles and our adults, so too, because you see that if you say you have mental health as a juvenile, it may not necessarily go away as you become adult.
Sure.
So really, how do we balance that and take that data and be able to put that collectively together? Something else we also learned, though, is that we have a rise in women incarceration across the nation too, and the disparities there. So, you know, looking back home at where we are, I think we're pretty well, but just keeping an eye on that. If you're starting to see a national trend when women incarceration, the question might be why? Why is that going up? Who is that? Is it white versus black or brown or Indian or what have you? Is that really looking at that data and not being afraid to have conversations around that. And that's one thing we're not afraid, is having the conversations about difficult situations, but maybe not that sexy conversation out there on the street to have about. But at the end of the day, these are citizens that live in Lucas County, the city of Toledo and around, and just how really we can be able to best meet those needs, because if you're incarcerated, you're going to come out, and then you're going to be coming back into the community to make sure that they have all their needs met when they come out.
So it sounds like you all are on top of this. You took a lot away with you as well, and we'll look, you know, forward to a safe community, right?
Yes,
Absolutely.
definitely.
Thank you all so much for being here today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.